Are you moving to Tennessee and researching how to buy a home in Tennessee? I have my top tips for moving to Tennessee coming up. What's up, y'all? I'm Rachel Hadidsazrealtor with Epique Realty in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So many of y'all out there are thinking about moving to Tennessee, planning on moving to Tennessee, or you just want to know what Tennessee living is all about. Moving to another state can seem very daunting, but let's break this down into actionable steps and we'll just take it one step at a time. In my organization, we have this little saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. All right, so the first step in moving to Tennessee is choosing where you want to live in Tennessee. I have a whole other video on this topic, some questions that you can ask yourself to help determine where you should be living in Tennessee. My goal with this channel is to empower all of you out there to decide where you want to move to Tennessee, as well as what to expect when relocating to Tennessee. Now, the easiest way to choose is to think about, what do you need to be close to? Do you have a job that you need to commute a certain distance to? Do you need to be less than an hour from the airport? These can be excellent starting points. But okay, let's say hypothetically, you just want to be somewhere that's safe with good schools. I get it, because that's what 95% of us want in life. However, safety and school ratings are all relative to how we personally define this. And unfortunately, I can't define this for you. You can do your own due diligence by checking out school ratings according to greatschools.org, and crime statistics can be found with the local law enforcement community. If you're looking for something with a little bit more land, well, that's most of Tennessee. Just narrow it down a little further and then we can go from there. Let's say you're looking for a rural property with good internet. Well, this is Tennessee, y'all. That can be a challenge. You gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. Internet speeds can be found on the government website, fcc.gov, and then you can cross-check those by calling the local cable company. However, my top tip for choosing where you want to live in Tennessee is just to come out here and visit and see what really resonates with you. You can watch every video that you want on YouTube, but you cannot replace the human experience. Next up, once you've decided that you are moving to Tennessee and you've chosen where you want to live, is to form a team to help you get there. A realtor is a great starting point, and most of us have excellent local trusted lenders and a title company that we are already working with. I totally respect if you want to choose your own lender. However, just remember that we're in a seller's market right now. As a buyer, you should be doing everything in your toolbox to strengthen your offer. This means that I highly recommend going with a local trusted lender. Don't go with a faceless internet lender or some lender from out of state that no one around here has ever heard of. Local lenders are trusted, easy to reach, and the lenders that I know, they go above and beyond for their clients by calling the listing agent to advocate on your behalf when you submit an offer. If your lender is not advocating on your behalf when you submit an offer, they could be doing you a disservice. Listen, don't hate the messenger, folks. I do not get any sort of kickbacks from working with any specific lender. I only suggest lenders that I know will ensure a smooth transaction and close on time, if at all humanly possible. So during this same time, you're going to find a realtor who can also list your home, if you also need to sell your current home in order to purchase a new one. If you qualify for a second mortgage and can wait to sell, that is completely up to you if you prefer to wait on listing your home. By the way, if you've learned anything so far, can you do me a quick favor and hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm? It really does support my small channel here. So the third step is you get to start looking at homes based on your criteria. We'll narrow down your search area as well as the type of home, whether it's a townhome, single family home, condo, etc. Things like number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, square footage, age of the home, even your lot size that you prefer. These can all help narrow down your search. Just a quick note, things like an open kitchen, unfortunately, our software algorithm does not have a filter for something like that. So we will have to look at each listing individually to see if the kitchen is kind of up to what your preference is. Outside of needing like a single story home, floor plans can be a little bit tricky. Just a little note to the listing agents out there, buyers love it when you put the floor plan on your listing. Steps 3 and 4, these can go in a little bit in tandem. how to craft a winning offer in a seller's market. Certain markets in Tennessee, like right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, they are still very, very highly competitive. And for the majority of us, it's tough to go up against a cash investor who is totally fine to waive every single contingency. However, it's not always the highest offer that wins. That being said, you still want to remove as many contingencies as possible. If you have a home to sell before you can buy, that home should at least be listed on the market, even if you're not under contract or sold just yet. That's because if you're trying to buy and sell at the same time, but your home isn't even listed yet, it's less likely that the seller for the home that you want to buy is going to take your offer seriously. A home sale contingency, despite the fact that it's more than likely going to sell super fast in the current market, it's still a contingency. Remove it if you can, and preferably go ahead and make that offer once you have a buyer under contract for the home that you're going to be selling. Next, let's talk about offer price. This again depends on your market if you're going to offer above the list price and how much you should offer above list price. Homes that are priced well here in Tennessee, I expect them to at minimum sell for the list price. But the more competitive that the market is that you're buying into, the more turnkey that the home is, the more desirable that the area is to the other buyers, all of these factors are going to increase the competitiveness of that certain home. It's going to attract more offers, and you're going to need to offer more than the list price if you want to be competitive and get the home. I always suggest going with the highest and best when you're in a multiple offer situation. Offering under list price in a multiple offer situation, it's really just a waste of your own time and energy. So just be realistic when you're buying a home in this current market. Additionally, if you do offer over list price, the listing agent is going to be looking for an appraisal gap. That is, if the home is going to be financed. This means that in the event of a low appraisal, that you will bring additional cash to closing to bridge the gap between the appraisal amount and your offer amount, because your lender is only going to finance based on the appraised value. If you don't want to be in a multiple offer situation, hey, I totally get this. But you are better off looking at homes that have been on the market 7+ days. If it's been on the market less than a week, buyers are out there looking at it, they're seeing if they want to buy it. But those that have been on the market for a few days, buyers have passed those up already, and you may be able to swoop in and get something for right at list price, possibly less than list price if it's perhaps overpriced. However, on the other end of the spectrum, if you decide that you want a cream of the crop home, but you're unwilling to bridge an appraisal gap or offer above list price, you're very highly unlikely to get your offer accepted in this market. I'm very realistic about what I can and can't do as your agent. And if I can't meet your expectations, I will be completely honest and tell you that up front. There are so many other things that we could talk about when crafting your offer, but those are the two main things that I'm seeing in the seller's market right now that the listing agents are looking for. I'm gonna have a little bit more on this in a later video, so go ahead and comment down below what questions that you have about crafting an offer in Tennessee in this current seller's market. So you've made an offer on a home, it's been accepted. What are you gonna be doing next? Turn in your earnest deposit, you're going to initiate your loan application, and you're going to get your inspection set up. We'll also reach out to your lender to see if they can go ahead and schedule that appraisal. The title company is going to work hard behind the scenes to make sure that the title on the property is clear for a transfer. Once the inspections are done and they're resolved, and the appraisal comes back, then we're just waiting on your lender's underwriter to say those magic words, clear to close. The title company will assist in transferring the property from one homeowner to you, and then you are officially a Tennessee homeowner. By the way, if you get a letter in the mail saying that you need to pay around $100 to ensure that the title on your property is free and clear, don't worry about that. That is why you have title insurance. You've already paid for this with your closing costs, so I feel like that's just one of those scams through the mail, kind of like those extend your car warranty postcards that you get. You don't need to pay that extra fee. This has been a lot to take in, I'm sure, but just remember, we're taking it one step at a time. First, remember, we're gonna choose where you wanna live in Tennessee. So here's that video that you can go back and watch. My contact info is in the description for real estate assistance. Give this video a like and subscribe with the bell so that you'll be the first to know when I post a new video. I have so much more to tell you about life and real estate in Tennessee, so I'll see you at the next video.